is not even a crust. All aboard for a fat boy trip, and you can call me captain. Don't forget the paper plates and the stack of napkins. P-I-C-C-A, P-A-R-T-Y. P-I-C-C-A, P-A-R-T-Y. Pizza party, pizza party. Gonna have a good time. Pizza party, pizza party. Have a sip of red wine. Yeah.
Ciao, paisans! Woo! 2024 is in the house. We have a show for you tonight. Could I say it's a super show? Yes, I could, because I am a cornball and because I love all of you so much. How you been? Let me take a look. Oh, looking good for the new year. Ooh, Santa put a little bit of new cologne in the old stocking, huh? You smelling good? It's such a good feeling to know you're alive. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a long time coming, but the man, the myth, the super heroic legend, Eric Bloat, one of the most prolific men in the hobby, is going to be joining us tonight. We got Dr. Metal. We got the Neon Lord. We got Elena on the ones and twos. I want to get weird. I want to talk about a bunch of stuff. So let's get into it. Welcome to the January edition of Joey Royale's Pizza Party, where we celebrate everything Dungeon Crawl Classics, Mutant Crawl Classics, Get Haunted Industries, the Neon Lords, everything that makes this world of creativity so wonderful. Speaking about the world of creativity and how wonderful it is, guess what I get to do tomorrow? All right? Tomorrow, 12:30 to 1:30. All right? I got 4th graders and 5th graders, 6 of them all together, for their first time playing a role-playing game ever. Start them out right. Right there, I will have a play report up on Facebook after we run our first game. They're like, Mr. Royale. That's what they call me at school. Mr. Royale. They're like, can I be like a half tiefling? Yeah. Nope. You're going to be a dirty person with a pig and a pitchfork, and you'll be lucky if you make it out alive, kid. So get ready for the real stuff. Ow, right in the kisser. I can't wait. They can't wait. It's going to be a hoot. That's how you got to start them out. I hope you all had a nice holiday. I haven't seen you since then. Let me, Cryptocool. Here we go, Cryptocool. Here's some of the beautiful things I got from my beautiful friends. Wayne Snyder, oh, I miss you so much, my friend. I hope you and Barbara are doing well. Look what I got. I've always wanted this. The Kool-Aid dice. I'm going to jump right through the wall in Gen Con and throw this and get a 20. All right, I got that. And look at this. This is beautiful. I got a beautiful bowl that Wayne's dad carved by hand. How gorgeous is that? I'm going to put my my pasta in there. That's beautiful. Thank you, Wayne. Oh, and this was very special. This was in the package, too. You see this? Don't tell Joseph. This is an actual skull from the legendary ziggurat that you will see again at Gen Con. All right? He got me one of those. Beautiful. And then my brother in upstate New York, the Neon Lord himself, one of my favorite Christmas presents of the year, a fake tongue. You never know when you'll need that fake tongue. So I got that. I love that. Got a bunch of cool stuff. I can't go through everything, but let's take a look. Here's what the Neon Lord got me too. I've been dying for this. Now, look at this. Atom Bomb, Chupa Chup. You put the, it's got 3 different Chupa Chups. You put the lollipop in Atom Bomb's head, and you press the button, and all you got to do, stick the tongue out, and the lollipop rolls itself. Genius. Less work for me. Awesome. Thank you, Neon Lord. He's going to be joining us in a minute. And then my buddy, Foxy. Foxy, I love you. You're so thoughtful. This was amazing. Foxy knows me well. Look at this. Resurrections of Monstrous. Franken Steela. Does he know? Oh, all right. Does he know me or what? That's a little blue. Beautiful one right there. Don't worry. She was wearing a top. She was wearing like a swimsuit. You know how Bride of Frankenstein does. And then I got this. the zine that I've never seen before from Tuesday Night Fiend Club. This is awesome. Vehicle Mayhem. All right. Tuesday Night Fiend Club, compatible with DCC. Only 5 clams on the website. But this is about vehicle battles. And I love it because me and Elvis Royale, my son, we've been taking the Hot Wheels. I put the nail polish remover on them, take off all the paint, and then we paint them up like Road Warriors. I never played Car Wars or anything like that. But I'm going to play this. We're going to play. We already have some plans to play Vehicle Mayhem. It's very similar to that. I love the pictures inside. They got their own modified cars, all sorts of cool rules. Simple enough to play, but crunchy enough to make it interesting. And then I finally cracked this open. Look at this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing. Doug Kovacs in the house. Wayne Snyder, and a bunch of other amazing people. James McGeorge, the Hobonomicon, folks. This is next level stuff. All right? I'm not going to explain this to you. This is something that you have to ingest yourself, go out to the woods on a full moon, and the secrets will be revealed. Boom, right in the kisser. Beautiful. And then Tim Snyder, no relation, sent me this, and I got goosebumps. Nail on the head. He nailed it. Look at this. He made a WHPA zine. 13 this week, local programs. He's got this week's special feature presentations, Wise Guys on Wheels and Hello World, new job openings for the station, programming notes for the station manager. He's got new host profiles. He's got TV shows. He's got adventure, Chef's Kiss. I think he has this up, only PDF right now on drive-through. Absolutely love it. One more thing I got to show you. Santa came by the house, and Santa got this for Elvis from the one, the only, our living local legend, Brad McDevitt. We got the original thief drawing from Darkest Dice. Thank you, Brad. Elvis loved it. Folks, check out his Etsy. Jess, we love you. Speaking of superheroes, you are our Wonder Woman. We hope you are on the men soon. We love you. So now I want more time for bloat, so I'm just blowing through this stuff here. Indie Creator Summit. Whoa! My mind went like this. I had to staple back the skin because it stretched out so much. What a beautiful thing. I told Joseph it was like Woodstock for gaming. It was so cool. I learned so much from it. Elena, you are a champion. You got through that whole thing, and you did it like a champ. You are a talented person, and we're lucky to have you as part of the family. One more thing that I'm going to dig into. I picked this up last weekend, and I know the Neon Lord and Dr. Miller are going to love this. High Weirdness by Mail. Now, this is old. I don't even know if half these things exist anymore, but it's a directory like, oh, boy. Oh, man. This is something else. It gives you addresses where you can send away for weird catalogs or to join weird organizations, maybe a cult, who knows? There's some weird things. Oh, no, I can't read that one. Bible of the Undead. Who wants a Bible of the Undead? All you need to do is send $10.95 in a self-addressed stamped envelope. I used to love this stuff. I used to get these. I'd send so much self-addressed stamped envelopes out when I was a kid to get all this weird stuff in the mail. I love it. So great stuff there. Lots of inspiration. Whew, let me take a breath. How's everybody in the chat doing over here? I miss you. There's Snyderman. Oh, look who's in the chat. Snyderman's there. McDevitt's there. All the beauties. Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. Nice to see you. Dave, Luau. Oh, man. All the good ones. Knoxwell. Man, nice to see all of you. Hey, while we're getting warmed up in the chat, why don't you throw in, you got two choices, all right? Who your favorite superhero is, or your weirdest superhero. And I'll throw villain on there too. Me and the guys are going to talk about that later on as well. Zine Quest is coming up. We're really excited about that. Next February, next month, we'll be right in the middle of Zine Quest. If you got a zine coming out for DCC or anything Goodman Games related, send me an email, lordblood, BLUDD, @gmail.com on the internets. And I want to have you on the show. We're going to do like a speed dating. Everybody gets a couple minutes to hawk their wares. I'll be hawking my own Ninja City Drug Demon Disco. Oh, yeah. If you were there at Gen Con, perhaps you were part of that legendary game that even the Vatican is talking about these days. We got Neon Lord Brian Shutter doing the layout and the graphic design. And my man Joe Gila is back. Joe, the artist of Super Size Me fame, will be doing the art. So it's all the stuff you love plus more. Special guest, pal, right in your face, Timmy DeShen, with some lore that connects Ninja City to WHPA. And you heard it here first. Dr. Metals got a history piece on the history of cool ninjas in that we just found out that week. Going to be simple. $10 zine. I'll mail it anywhere. And then the other goal is you can buy, the other reward is you can buy Ninja City and Ninja City Drug Demon Disco. I'm not going nuts. I want to get this done. I want the Kickstarter over with. You're going to have it in the hands by the spring. I kid you not, on my mother's eyes, all right? All right, wisdom check. Let's see what some geniuses have to say. Here's Ray Bradbury. This is a quick one. Remember, from one of our favorite books, boys and girls, Zen and the Art of Writing. All right. And this is good for everybody who's nervous about zine quests for your first time or writing in general for your first time. We should not look down on work, nor look down on the 45 out of 52 stories written in our first year as failures. To fail is to give up. But you are in the midst of a moving process. Nothing fails then. All goes on. Work is done. If good, you learn from it. If bad, you learn even more. The work done and behind you is a lesson to be studied. There is no failure unless one stops. Not to work is to cease, tighten up, and become nervous, and therefore destructive of the creative process. If you are moving, you are grooving, Mr. Bradbury is saying. And on a similar note, let's go back a couple years before Ray Bradbury to the time of Seneca. And I love this one. Very simple. Put this in your pipe and smoke it, would you please? Don't hope that events will turn out the way you want. Welcome events in whichever way they happen. This is the path to peace. I have made some big mistakes in my life. I have failed. Well, I didn't fail. I made mistakes and I didn't cross the finish line. But you know what? Those were the best learning experiences I've ever had. Better than any physical mentor or anything like that. Ah, man, I forgot the Garbage Pail Kid cards, but I'll tell you what it was. It was incredible. I pull it right before the show, and I don't connect the wisdom checks to it. It just happens. And I believe it was either the 6 or 7 of wands reversed. And when I read it for us, it said you're going to be entering a time of nerves. You're going to be worried about a project you might be beginning. Go for it, trust in yourself, and you're going to be all right. And it all intertwines. Just do it while you can. There will be somebody there that will love it. Very good. All right, where are we? We're 12 minutes in, 15 minutes in. What do we got going on here in the chat? Oh, boy. Keith, Zatara, Scarlet Witch, Enchantress. Oh, we got some Punishers. Sleepwalker, Snyderman. I remember buying issue 1 of Sleepwalker when that came out. That was weird. I like that. Oh, man, we got some Swamp Things. Taskmaster. Wow, this is going to be a blast talking about this. Hey, so let's talk about it. Hold on. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, this next portion of our show was brought to you by New Spice. Here we go. No more on the cheeks, just on the torso, around the bolo area so I don't burn. Ladies and gentlemen, live from the Mozzarella Mausoleum all the way from Kentucky, we got Eric B. Eric Bloat's in the house. Eric, Dr. Metal, Neon Lord, the family's all here. Ciao, paisans. How you doing in 2024? Dr. Metal, you looking fresh, like you took a shower or something.
Got to keep it clean, brother. Got to keep it clean.
It's like you got the Benjamin Buttons going. You look younger every time I see it. Neon Lord, how is it in snow-encased upstate up there?
All the snow still around.
Yeah, I bet you're snow blowing left and right, huh?
Oh, too much snow blowing.
Had mine out today.
Did you? What? It's all mush around here in New England.
Yeah, we got a good inch, and the doc likes the snow.
All right, all right. You got
Speaking
that's called a dusting, an inches of dusting.
Yeah.
Mr. Bloat, out there in Kentucky, you don't got any snow falling down there, do you?
No, but it has been raining for 2 days solid. So I got like three dogs, and our yard is just a solid mud pit. So it's been something else.
Well, Eric, the sun will come out tomorrow. The sun came out today for you because you unlocked. And well, first, I'm getting ahead of myself. Eric, tell them about the wonderful Kickstarter that we're gathered around to talk about tonight.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. The Kickstarter we're here to talk about tonight is Evolved, which is a superheroic time traveling Kickstarter, which is powered by DCC RPG. That's right, not just compatible, powered by DCC RPG, which means that it is a full and complete core rule book that if you're a fan of DCC and you're a fan of superheroes, you're definitely going to want to check out.
Where did this all begin? This is a genius idea.
Really, I've been looking for my next DCC project I wanted to do for a while. A few years back, Bloat Games, we did a game called Vigilante City, which was like a street level superheroes, kind of our ode to Batman animated series. Yep. We I'm a huge Batman fan, particularly that version is my favorite version. But my writing partner, Josh Palmer, he is always been an X-Men fan. So whereas I was always Batman and I would read like Wolverine comics, I would read solo hero comics. He was always straight up X-Men, the group comic.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
And so I've been, one of the things I was thinking, I said, you know what, I need to give Josh his props, because he was on board and helped me out, get Vigilante City out. I said, I want to do an X-Men comic. And as soon as I started thinking of, or an X-Men type game, as soon as I started thinking of something like that, first thing came to mind was obviously DCC, because I thought of like the spells. And I said, all right, each spell, and take out the spells, put in mutant powers, which we eventually called evolved powers. And that was really the impotence for it. And I said, my favorite storyline of X-Men has always been Days of Future Past. So what about if we do it in 2 timelines?
Yeah.
Then I brought on Jeff Seifert, who many people know. He's worked on several things in the for DCC third-party publishers. We brought him on, and I found out that Jeff's also a huge X-Men fan. So really, Jeff and Josh took the ball and ran with it. It's weird because it's a Bloat Games project, but this is probably the one that I've had the least input on. I've been able to just sit back and look at everything that they're doing and be like, wow, that's better than what I thought it was. What I had envisioned. They're knocking it out the park. That is
so. And Jeff, I'm sorry we couldn't find a date that worked for you. We tried to have him on with all of us at the same time too, but we love you, buddy. What's the setting of this? What is the Gotham or the Metropolis we're working in here?
All right, so it's set in 2 timelines. Set in a major city. They really the setting is kind of a generic major city. So it's upstate New York City, not New York City. And then because it happens in 2 timelines, you get to see the pre-apocalypse and the post-apocalypse setting of the same city. And really what's cool is you get to play your same characters. Your same characters will age in your game. Ooh. and be able to play in both time settings.
I love this, man. So you went a step of just like, let's do a superhero DCC. You worked in time travel. You got the spell. This is going to be sick.
Exactly. Originally, when I was first conceiving the game, I was thinking we would do just the kind of the modern day setting or near future setting, and then have it jump into Mutant Carl Classics. But then, there was a few things as far as compatibility and then issues of using Joseph's intellectual property and stuff. So I said, you know what, we'll confine it to our game. But obviously you can pull in whatever you want. And since it's all DCC compatible, it's all going to, cross-pollinate and play well together.
And that seems to be where this awesome community is going. There's so much more talk of cross-pollination and in combining of settings and all that. And that's very exciting.
Yeah. And I want to shout out to the community. First off, I'm a huge DCC fan. Like I'm a fanboy first.
Yeah.
When it comes to DCC, and I want to shout out to the community because when Jeff came on board, he started reaching out to other people who I really admire, other third party publishers, and a lot of people like David Beatty and I mean just a ton of people have given us license to use some stuff that they've created, like the life paths and stuff like that. You'll see it in our game, and it's all made possible by how awesome the third party publishing community is in general, and everybody was just willing to come on board. They liked the idea. They said, yeah, let's make this the best game possible, and so you'll see a lot of stuff from other publishers in there as well.
Well put. I mean, this is like the thing where like you don't be everybody out there in Spaghetti Land. If you want some help or you want some advice or you want to borrow something, don't be afraid to knock on the DCC community's door. Not once have I ever got a negative response from somebody. Don't go nuts about it, but everybody will help you out. It's really cool.
Yeah, that's one thing, and really in RPGs in general, I've noticed, but especially in the DCC community, there's not a lot of competition. Everybody's kind of rooting for everybody to win, and that's one of the things that I love the most about it.
As they say, a rising tide lifts all meatballs.
That's right.
That's great, man. So I want to know a little bit about character creation, because that's like one of the greatest things about role-playing games in general. And if you're making superheroes, how do I become Super Royale?
All right. Well, obviously, because it's DCC, you're going to start off as a nobody. Your powers are not evolving yet. Yep. We're going to have funnels that you can run characters through. And then once beyond that, you're going to graduate to classes, which are going to be different type. We call them evolved. Some people might refer to them as mutants. But we call them evolved characters. And that's where you'll gain your powers, and you'll kind of follow a path progression, kind of like the life paths and Weird Frontiers and stuff like that. So there's definitely, if you play DCC, all your favorite parts of how a DCC character goes from literally a gong farmer to a level 10 wizard, that's all going to be part of this with the same type of character development.
That's awesome. I love the sound of this, man. I am in. So I got my guys with me. I got the Doc and I got the Lord. And I know you know both of them. Particularly, I know you've been working with the Lord over there, the Neon Lord. Brian, how are you today?
I am good. Yes.
All right. Very nice. So,
but also, if we hit $30,000, I get to work on this book too.
Oh,
less than 2,000 away from. We'll make it. I will definitely make. I'm definitely gonna be working on it. But.
And Eric, what's the announcement today?
Well, the announcement today is that we have found a way to include international shipping for international backers. There was a problem. This book is going to be a huge tome, right? It's going to be nearly 600 pages. So that's not cheap to ship. And we went, we've been scrambling trying to get that. A lot of people were upset at first because it didn't offer right out the gate shipping to international backers. Good news is there are shipping now. So if you've been following or you've been following along and you want to get that, and you're from Canada, you're from the EU, go ahead, hop on. There is now an option for you to be able to get that physical, the actual print book, and not just like a print on demand or a knockoff. You're getting the real deal.
That's huge, Eric, and congratulations and well done on that. The whole world needs to appreciate this. 600 pages, my own. You're nuts.
Oh yeah,
that's got to be. Oh man, but I'm really glad to hear that can go out to all of our friends, all the Alpha Flight fans up there and up north and all that. But I got my guys with me, Eric, and we're comic book freaks. All right, and I mean that. We're into the weird stuff. So I asked my guys. I say, guys. I say, Doc. I say, Lord. Tell me about. Let's talk about the weirdos. The weirdos. We're not. I listen. Batman was one of my number ones. For me, I'm like a Batman. I like Submariner. I love Namor a lot. I just love his attitude. I love guys like that. I was a big Super Friends fan as a kid. I had all the Superpowers figures and the Secret Wars figures. I got my son into Secret Wars. I love that stuff. From the individuals, like you said, to the whole organizations. So let's get weird here, guys. Doc.
Well.
Oh, go ahead, Neon.
Wow. Okay. Well, I mean, off the bat, I don't mean to cut Doc off, but we have to talk about the first superhero from New Jersey is going to be the best on the list. We got the Toxic Avenger.
I
right?
knew it. I knew
I
that
knew
was
you were
coming.
That's my number one. I had to get it out there. I had to.
I
get
knew
first
that
to
was
the cut.
coming.
Best one. I mean, I wore the shirt too.
I know. New
He's the
Jersey's, heroic son, not Bruce Springsteen. We're talking Toxie.
Toxie, the best. I mean, he's kind of weird, I guess. I don't know. I don't really consider him that weird, but
You know,
would-
well, you downloaded the Toxic Wasteland.
right, yeah. So it's like, to me, it's just a Tuesday.
Oh my God, that's excellent. I love it. What do we got going on with you, Doc? Who's one of yours?
All right, so I'm going to advocate for the Battle of the Things, of
Yes.
which there are many. So number one, there's the Blue-Eyed, my my namesake.
You're pretty much your namesake.
Yeah, if that was I think kindergarten, they asked us to do the big handwriting thing where you had the big space to draw
Yeah.
who your favorite superhero was, and I was like, that was him because we share a name, and I come from that. So
And because the Clancy Street gang used to always give you a hard time on the way to
the
school.
Walnut Crossing Street gang of kids on big wheels in suburban Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, yeah. So that's thing number one, and there are things 1 and 2. Who are the 2 weirdos? All right. So I'm advocating for the man on the chest,
Awesome.
and there he is in plastic.
Beautiful.
Wasn't that the Build-A-Fig?
Yes, it was. I'm one of the only old goats at a certain company who's had the pleasure of working on pieces of plastic for both DC and Marvel. So
Awesome.
Nice.
That's great,
So-
man.
So that leads me into the dilemma, and I'm sure chat's blowing up with the Kings of the Weird. So you got Man Thing and you
Yep.
got Swamp Thing. All right.
Mm.
Both have their pluses and minuses. Alan Moore turned Swamp Thing into the weirdest of the weird. Which, mad props to the bearded god himself. But I did a little research before tonight. Man Thing beat him to market by a month.
Did he really?
Both creative teams swear they didn't know the other group was putting this character out. But yeah,
Wow.
almost the same origin, the whole deal. Me, I'll take twice the thing for twice the dollar. Good
That's why
story
you
either
pick
way.
up giant-sized man things.
That's
Yeah.
right. Hey,
So-
And it's the
Reminds
first appearance, like Howard the Duck is involved with Man Thing, so it's fantastic.
yes,
But yeah,
absolutely.
so this one in particular, back when I started on a certain project, was one of the ones that they said, hey Doc, if you could make anybody that we haven't made, I said, you guys will never do this. And they go, okay, what do you got? And I said, number one, you knew who I asked for first. Dazzler and the bell bottoms.
Yeah.
with the
Roller
roller
Girl Dazzler.
and
Absolutely.
the Farrah Fawcett hair.
Yeah.
Chef's kiss to that. But this was my number 2 on the list. So
Very
yeah,
awesome.
so I'm team man, and apparently, somebody else likes this guy too because they put out a whole book about him.
Yeah.
I wonder
heard
where that
was going.
idea came from, Mr. Brinkman.
The McDevitt's sometimes call me up during the radio show to make requests, and Jeff once requested the Swamp Thing theme song from the '90s TV show for Brad. So I know what team they're on.
I
anyway-
bought that. I got that board game.
Yeah, that's right. You just got the Swamp Thing board
Yes,
game, bro.
I didn't even bring it up here. It's downstairs still in my
Not
pile.
board game, wall art.
Yeah. I
well,
bought
right.
just the board to put on the wall.
Eric. Speaking this, I want to ask that: are there classes? Are there like?
Yeah,
how does
there's
that work?
definitely. Yeah, there's classes. So you can be things like you can be a soldier or a scoundrel, which are kind of like your normal
Yeah.
classes. But then you got things like the cerebral adept, the metamorph, the movement monarch, the overhauler. All that type of stuff. And each one of those has its own power that are like power tree that you can follow into the evolved. So like a thunderstroke or water. There's a ton of classes, but each one has its own path to follow to where you're not like just getting the exact same powers for
Yeah, right.
different type things. So, and then they're made when you read the descriptions, you'll very much be like, oh, they were going for this character.
Gotcha.
We very much hit all the archetypes for the X-Men.
Do you have a weird one on your mind that you loved growing up?
You know what? I always read a ton of the Handbook to the Marvel Universe.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
was always fascinated by characters, what I call the lookalikes. So like Beta Ray Bill and Double Man, and just why do these characters look exactly like other characters? And so those were the ones that when I was young, I was very intrigued by.
That's great, man. That's great. I'm gonna shoot one of mine. So I knew nothing about this guy for years. I got him. It was like one of the last waves of superpowers, and I got him off the shelf because they were out of Plastic Man. And boy, this is one of my grails, that action figure. And I never read his comics. 3 weeks ago, I was at the Book Barn, and they have a beautiful selection of trade paperbacks, all the comics. I just picked this one up out of the love and remembrance of the action figure I had right here. And holy cow, I have never read a comic like this. I'm talking about this one right here.
Oh, it's good.
Has anybody check this out?
It's good.
Maroon. This Mr. Miracle by Tom King and Mitch Gerads. It's okay. First of all, half of it's superhero battles. You know, they go back. There's Granny Good and Darkseid and all that. But the other half is him having an existential crisis. Like the book starts off with Scott Free surviving a suicide attempt. And like being a part of a domestic situation, being Big Barda's husband. But like they're talking about organizing the living room while fighting on Apocalypse. It's like, it blows my mind. And especially being 44 years old and going through existential crisis every time I get out of bed. Man, this one spoke to me. But even the idea of Mr. Miracle is so weird. Like, he is the High Father's son traded to Darkseid, or the other way around. And then he's an escape artist, or he's training with a human escape artist. That guy gets killed. He takes on the outfit. It's like, where are you going with this? I love Jack Kirby, and I love that weird kind of thing. Like, holy cow, this thing is an octopus of origin here. But if you want something a little bit different, pals, this Mr. Miracle is pretty amazing in terms of a superhero and just as a good narrative piece of fiction. Beautiful. Brian, what else you got?
Well, my Grant Morrison pick, because we got to talk about the weirdest guy in the not Marvel, but in the comic book world. I picked Danny the Street.
He was on my list.
Of course, he's got.
I don't know this guy.
He's not a guy. He's a sentient street.
He's literally a street.
A street?
Yeah.
What is this from?
From Doom Patrol. You got to watch the show. If you ever get a chance.
No, I haven't watched Doom Patrol yet. Eric, you watched that?
No, not yet.
No.
But it's on my list. I keep hearing
Very
great things about it.
Very, very good show. So he is a sentient piece of urban geography who can magically and seamlessly place himself in any urban landscape at will without any disruption to the surroundings.
So that's where Toynbee tiles come from. I think that's his mark.
So it's crazy. I just read the comics with that over the summer. I didn't know the show was out. In comics from late 80s. And yeah, it's crazy because the Doom Patrol's headquarters is in Rhode Island, which is pretty darn cool. And they have like a city block in the middle of nowhere where they're at. It reminded me of that old, you remember that old Fisher Price Town Square play set?
Oh, yeah.
People? It was like that, just in the background where they're hanging out. Oh, yeah, that's Danny the Street.
Yeah. It's in the show. It's a whole like story arc with Danny.
All right, I awesome. Definitely have to check it out. I didn't know it got that weird. That's awesome.
You don't even have to read a book to find out about it. It's beautiful.
Reading is cool still, kids. Remember.
Hey, let's prove that reading is cool. Let's do some stupid trivia right now. Anybody's got a good, Eric, you have a good superhero trivia question for the chat?
Ooh, come back to me and I'll have something.
Okay. Here's one. What's Mr. Miracle's sidekick's name? That'll get you something. Let's start with that. Metal or Neon Lord. Do you have any trivia?
Yeah, I mean, who's the greatest comic book artist of all time? Rob Liefeld. I already answered it for everybody. And
The
I
doc
love the
got
man.
to spend time with him. He is cherished.
Speaking of, did you see that he did an alt cover for Thundercats #1 that's coming out?
No,
It
how's
looks
look?
good. He's good. I don't know all the hate on I know the chat's gonna freak out because I love Rob Liefeld, but not enough
Eric,
pouches.
Could I make a man thing creature in Evolve?
Oh yeah, for sure,
Yeah.
100%.
You got my money.
That's awesome. All right, I'm still looking for somebody who can name Mr. Miracle's
Bradley-
sidekick.
Bradley said the midget. Asked if
No,
the
no,
midget.
the little person. Yeah, okay, yeah, it's that guy, Brad.
Oh, I thought that was just the name.
No, that's not.
Is the question mark part of his name? Like the
Yeah. Said Sowie.
Oh no. He said
I should probably not like just keep saying what Bradley
it's not
said.
Magnus. He was the original partner of the original mortal Mr. Miracle.
You know, I don't know much about DC. I never was a DC guy growing up. Like, yeah,
Super
I mean,
Friends,
Batman was. Cool.
I was a Marvel guy, but Super Friends really you put a headlock on
Yep.
me.
So I've been
Right,
going
you got
back-
any? Do you have an objective trivia question?
I don't know. I haven't really thought about it.
Oh my goodness! All right, here's an easy one. Who is Aquaman's arch nemesis on Super Friends? I'm just giving this away. Come on,
Yeah,
I got
isn't it-
quality stuff I'm giving away here.
Isn't it? Oh, I can't answer.
No, you can't answer. You're part of the no.
How come he didn't show off?
Oh my god. Okay, I'm sending another package to Keith the Gamer Geek. Keith the Gamer Geek. You get Andre Norton, No Night Without Stars, a great one for MCC fans. Okay.
Did you want to keep your Christmas present under wraps so you don't get in trouble?
What do you mean?
The one register in your hands as lethal weapons now.
Oh, that's actually I'm saving that for next episode because that's gonna be funny to say. I got that all set. Yeah. Yeah. Come on, folks. I got two other really good ones. All right. What's the name? Who was the actor in Batman 66 who played the Joker? This is easy. Come on. Somebody come up with something here. The Joker. Awesome actor.
I'll even give you a hint.
Cesar Romero,
dude.
Brad McDevitt. You get a special one, buddy. You get another Norton, Daybreak 2250 AD. The Book Barn has been very good to me lately. All right.
I wonder where they got all those books. Like, it's very random when you send me stuff. You're like, hey, do you want these? And it's like, how did these just show up?
Because the people you bring your old books there.
Right, I get that, but it's just random.
Yeah,
like,
I don't know.
sudden...
I don't know why there's so many Appendix N stuff all around.
It's like an Appendix N wormhole where it just deposits good stuff in that one.
It's
store.
either that or like I got a ton of Dread books from him, and then
I just sent you
Shadowrun,
Dread, and then I just
Judge
what was the other
Dredd's
thing I just sent you?
like 6 Shadowrun second edition
Nice.
books.
Shadowrun books for like just a couple bucks a piece. Yeah,
That's crazy.
And then I bought all of Jeffrey LaLuke's Werewolf the Apocalypse books
With his name in it.
with his maps. Yeah. Okay, here's a good one from Brad McDevitt. Name both people who played the Riddler. Great question, Brad. I should have Brad write all of my stuff for me. Go ahead, Eric. You're a guest. Go ahead.
On the 66 show, that would be John Anderson and Fred Gershwin.
Absolutely. You get a copy of High Rose Journey.
Woo!
All right. You have that one?
No.
Okay, this is a great one. You'll like this. Every time I put this in my Etsy, it sells out. So very good. Excellent job. Brad, you're going to get something extra special too because you came up with that question. Oh, man, this is great. Hey, Eric.
Yes.
How do villains work in your game?
Villains, they're NPC. They're built kind of on the same engine. So, or let me say, if you're a character, you can play a villain. But typically the villains will have like a ton of stand-in villains that are be very familiar to what you may experience reading an X-Men comic.
Yep.
And already set it out. But as far as making them, they're kind of just built on the same chassis as the evolved characters.
Is there an official rogues gallery in the book, or do you
Yes.
get the pleasure
Yes.
of making your own?
You get information on how to make your own, but we provide I can't remember the number, but quite a bit already in there in the settings stuff.
Getting excited.
I'm excited to do like one shots, like after a crew gets established, doing what ifs.
Yeah.
I
Oh
used to
yeah.
love what ifs.
I did too.
Yeah,
What
some
if
good
the
what
X-Men
ifs.
died? What if Hulk just killed the Wolverine or vice versa? I used to love those.
What if the Punisher got the Venom suit?
That's my favorite one as a
Yeah.
kid.
Of
What if,
course it is. So Bri,
so edgy. It was like 90s edge.
Yeah.
Bri, is Punisher a superhero?
I don't consider him a superhero. He's a street level hero.
Explain.
So superheroes have superpowers, right? I guess. Well, I guess Daredevil is considered a street level hero though, but he has superpowers.
Yes.
Batman?
So Batman has no
You're using
powers.
that? Huh?
Batman has no superpowers.
But
Has a big
would you?
wallet.
Okay, Eric, jump in
Yeah.
here. Jump in. Eric's getting mad. Look at that. You're out of it.
No,
I mean,
like,
I can't argue that Batman has no powers. But Batman could beat Superman with
Well,
the kryptonite ring. So
yeah, no, like I like Batman. I'm just saying,
I
like
love
street
Batman.
level.
Whoa! The chat. Listen to this. Batman's power is wealth by Ghost Squid. And then Commando Solo 193 says Batman is not a superhero. He's a dude in a costume.
Oh.
You know what the difference is? Because I'm not wearing hockey pads. But yeah, no, I do. Like, I don't know. I just don't consider the Punisher a superhero. But I guess like
He's still my
Hawkeye.
favorite.
Hawkeye's not a superhero.
Wow.
But that's okay though. You like, there's like heroes, right? I thought that was always a thing in Marvel. There was like heroes, superheroes, and like whatever, like what, like Omega heroes or
Yeah,
Mega
like gods.
super.
Yeah. No, I'm just messing with you. I think you do have a point. You know, we grew up, these are like the t-shirt has superheroes on it. But I've always wondered that about the Punisher and stuff like that. But I agree with Brad. He's the anti-hero. But to be a super, you need superpowers.
Right. I mean, he's no Lobo.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're hitting all my favorites.
It's a good
Who
one.
are your favorite stock?
The doc is let's see, I was an 80s kid into the 90s. My first comics were all the old World War II stuff from DC. Then G.I. Joe came and blew my freaking mind, of course. I went to a flea market show at the mall when they used to have shows at the mall, antiques. And I heard two like older kids talking about Wolverine and X-Men, and I'm like, I don't know what that is, but those older kids in the Dio shirts know what they're talking about.
Always trust the kids in the Dio shirts.
Yep. So that's
I don't know about all that.
X-Men. And then I picked up a copy of Daredevil because he looked like a ninja.
Yep.
So so it started from there, but really my bread and butter was, G.I. Joe comic, which I still read to this day, Punisher, which was everything.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Those are my favorites.
So Joey, I got a really kind of a cool origin story when it comes to how I got into comics. I went to see some friends and they happened to be playing Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. First time I've ever seen a role-playing game live. I sat there and watched them play a whole session, but all their characters were Marvel comic characters. And so they said, well, what comic character do you want to be? I didn't even know what character to pick. And so they said, well, go up to CVS and buy the official handbook to the Marvel Universe. I went up there. They didn't have that, but I did buy Spider-Man 333. So my first time playing D&D is tied very closely to my very first comic book I ever collected.
That's an awesome origin story, man. I like that very much. Did you play the Marvel game growing up at all?
Later on, yeah. But I played for a few years playing Dungeons and Dragons with superheroes. That was my way in.
I really like that, man. That's a cool idea. Neon Lord, who's your favorite?
Wolverine, hands down. I mean, this is like Jim Lee 90s X-Men. It's like bread and butter for me. And then they all went to Image. So Spawn after that, the Max, Wildcats, Savage Dragon.
Oh yeah, I didn't read those, but I remember when they started to hit the toy shelves. I'm like, where is this stuff coming from?
I was all over it. You had to buy 10 copies of each one to get the alternate covers.
Yeah,
and-
yeah.
awesome.
That was that's when that
Oh, the
exploded.
90s.
All the covers of the trading cards that came with them.
Hey, the Mr. T comic comes with a trading card.
Yep.
Oh, I'm never knocking Mr. T.
Nope.
Be somebody or be somebody's fool.
All right.
Yeah.
I got a weird one too. So we're
Go
talking
ahead.
about our weird heroes. Do you guys remember X-Force when it went to Ecstatic at all?
No.
Ecstatic. That's like the like when they went in the 90s.
It was like Mike Allred. People know him, and Milligan was the name of the writer. Like the X-Force that Liefeld started kind of fizzled out, and they gave it to him, and he came in with that awesome art style and these crazy mutants for this team. And they were like, I think they were like a reality show, like guys like the Orphan, I think it was Goop and all that. So
Yeah,
they
Goop.
were pretty crazy. They were right there
Goop.
with they were like a Grant Morrison, Warren Ellis type group.
Okay.
But I was reading up on it. I was like trying to figure out one of the characters, and I read this tidbit, which made me giggle a little bit. So in 2003, the writer decided he wanted to bring in the zombie corpse of Princess Diana as a character to the comic. The royal family protested and got all up in arms. And eventually Marvel caved to pressure and it decided not to go with the story. But the idea of the Princess Diana as a superhero, that's a chef's kiss right there.
Dr. Metal with the fact of the night.
Very cool.
Hey,
You
Eric.
learn something new every day. And, some piece of mathematical knowledge just went out for that to go in.
Amazing. Most heartbreaking character death in a comic.
Oh, obviously for me it would be Jason Todd.
Jason, I knew it. I knew you were going to say that. Yep.
Yeah.
You didn't vote for him to die?
No. Well, and I read it after. So I started reading comics after he died. When I started reading comics, Tim Drake was just introduced.
Okay.
But I started going back and like getting deep diving, and so I really fell in love with Jason Todd. And so I had no idea that Death in the Family, this character died, like because it hadn't been mentioned in the current comic books that I've been reading. So oh yeah, that one got me.
Yeah, that's a punch in the gut. Ghost Squid said Speedball's transition to penance, and Brad McDevitt says Jean Grey committing suicide.
Jean Grey pretty much. Jean Grey takes the all-time character death pretty much for a long time, but like all of them, once you've been along on the comics enough, they're coming back.
Yeah.
I think the only one that hasn't is Uncle Ben, right?
Yeah.
I mean, even Bucky broke the rule.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some alternate universe where it was like
there is
that died instead.
in the Spider-Verse
Spider-Verse
comic. He becomes Spider-Man because Peter gets shot when he's picking him up.
Yeah, it's like the bat who laughs.
Yes.
It's like, awesome. There's a whole thing of all the Spider-Men. Like that's a run anybody I'd hear suggest. That's where they got the whole Miles Morales movie idea from.
Okay.
But they have like Electric Company Spider-Man is in there.
Oh, cool. He's my
like
favorite.
they go everywhere. And then so they have that one's great because like they have all these different Spider-Men from the multiverse. And there's this like cantankerous old guy, and he's got like, the gout or something. And it's Uncle Ben in a Spider-Man uniform.
Spider Gout. I mean, I remember the death of Superman being such a cultural event in this country. Like it seemed like the world stopped for a week.
It was on the news and everything.
It was.
Yeah.
I was going to say that. Yeah, exactly. Right. It was on the news. Like adults were talking about it. Like, how can you? This is why the world's going down the tubes. They're even killing off Superman. But it was kind of strange,
Yeah.
Superman's not supposed to die.
He didn't though. He came back.
But the whole idea, like there was no going back after that. Then it was like anybody can die now and they're going to come back. And I think that was revolutionary.
I mean, I think like it's been a while since I read Civil War, but it's like there's a lot of characters die in Civil War.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's pretty awesome.
Well, and like I've mentioned a couple times already, but I love the official handbook of the Marvel Universe, and they would always do the book of the recently deceased. And
Yes.
so I would love going through and reading all the sideball characters who died, who didn't come back. And so then you'd be like, Black Knight 2 died. I'm like, there was a Black Knight 2? Like,
Yeah, Elena, I want to read the Blackest Night storyline. That's something I've had my
oh,
eyes
that's
on.
good.
Yeah.
So I remember one of the cooler ones going a little bit off script over to G.I. Joe because that
Here we
was
go.
that was my jam. And you
Mhm.
guys know that.
Yep.
And they had the whole deal where nobody dies in G.I. Joe,
Oh, yes, they
parachutes and all
do.
that. So Larry Hama, who's a god in my book, just basically said, "You want death? Okay, let's go." And there's like a 2-episode run where they just unload on
Yep.
a bunch of the side characters in that
Yeah.
book.
And side characters are my favorite in
Yeah.
G.I. Joe. And man, they kill some crazy ones. Battle for and they're like all the Battle
Yeah,
Force
rest in
2000
peace,
guys.
Battle Force 2000.
They got them all trapped in there. Yeah. Wow.
He
Well, thinking
killed,
of
I think that's the one where they show there's a frame of Quick Kick peeking up from like the foxhole, and he looks up right at the end of an M60, and that's the end of Quick Kick. So
Oh,
one of my
oh.
favorite panels of all time.
What were
I'll
you gonna
tell
say,
you,
Eric?
he brought up GI Joe, and this isn't from the comics, but I tell you, there was not a more traumatic death in my childhood than Optimus Prime dying in the Transformers the movie in 1980. Oh my gosh! I remember
Nobody was ready for that.
I was
Nobody.
inconsolable. My mom had to take me out of the theater. I cried out in the lobby for a few minutes. It was bad.
That was like I bet for most of the people our age, that was everybody's one of everybody's first experiences with death. Mine was save for family members, but like mine was Mr. Hooper from Sesame Street, and then it was Optimus Prime just a couple years later. Like Jesus,
Mine was
What are you trying to
still
do to us?
Charlotte's Web with the old cartoon version of that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I cried like a baby when that poor spoiler alert. Spider passed
How
away.
how is this a conversation right now?
Hey, people are watching.
Oh yeah, they're always gonna watch. They're always
You just
talking
got to
about
mention for
Well-
Bambi's mother and Old Yeller.
I mean, listen, this is what we do, family. This is what we do. We all grew up with this stuff. It made us the weirdos that we are, and it's a beautiful thing. So we embrace it. And Eric, I cannot thank you enough for making my table about to explode with something amazing. Obviously, you got a bunch of fanboys here, not only about superheroes, but for the amazing, prolific work that you do. You are a workhorse. And man, I'm not just blowing smoke. This is one of the first times we've spoken. That everything I buy of yours is quality. I mean, like you got quantity and you got quality, brother. And that, I mean, you are doing awesome work in the industry. And I can't thank you enough. We need more people like you who are kind, creative, and just nailing the productivity.
Thank you so much, man. That means a lot. Sometimes when you release these games, I've been doing this a while. You feel like you're releasing them in a vacuum. So you don't always get to hear that people are enjoying them. And when you do, that means the world. So if you're following any of your favorite authors or game designers, for anybody out there, let them know that you like their games, because we all doubt ourselves. So thank you very much for saying that.
I like the reviews that I get on my Etsy about my stuff more than the sales. So thank you everybody for the kind words.
Yes.
I can't get to all of them, but that is worth their weight in gold. And that's what makes the DCC, the Goodman Games community, so wonderful. So you knuckleheads who won the books, all right? Eric, you're getting high row. It was Keith is getting No Night Without Stars, right? And Brad is getting Daybreak 220. So I'll have those out in the mail for you. Thank you, everybody, for your time tonight. Doc Metal, Neon Lord, Elena, the Royale family, thank you very much. And Eric, you're part of that family now, too. Congratulations on a very successful Kickstarter. Good luck to everybody in Zine Quest. And like I said, you are welcome on the show. I don't care if it's your first project or your 50th project. I'm going to make time for you. LORDBLUDD@gmail.com. Let me know, and Elena and I will get a date out there soon to you. I love you all. And before we go, let's just check in with our friend Fred Rogers to get us off into the night. I hope you all have sweet dreams. And here's how we conclude. It's not so much what we have in this life that matters. It's what we do with what we have. The alphabet is fine, but it's what we do with it that matters most. Making words like friend and love. That's what really matters. And I love you just the way you are. Have a wonderful evening, everybody, and we'll see you next month. Ciao, paisans!